All right. We are live on both Instagram and YouTube right now. Super fired up to have you guys here with me. D Parker, I see you, man. I see you all the time. I love it, man. Keep jumping in. You're going to learn a ton. Hunter, what's up, bro? Um, Today's going to be a really good one. Hello, Torben. Yo, where you guys? Tell me where you're calling in from. Salty, my boy, Salty. I've been meaning to call you, Salty. Uh, You're welcome, man. Tell me where you guys are from while we're in here, while we're kind of getting started. Um, Love seeing you guys in here. This is getting kind of some momentum, just like looking at the analytics. There's my boy Salty. I love it. Peter Vatos, what's up, bro? Love it. Germany. We go, oh, Torben, what's up? Didn't even recognize you there. I know who you are. Yeah. I will call you, I will call you, Salty. I promise. I got Parker calling in from New Jersey. I love it. Sweet. All right. Let me get started here. So this is a advanced shooting mechanics breakdown. This is going to be a little bit shorter than what we normally do. Probably most of the time we're around like 10 or so, 15 minutes ish, maybe 20 minutes. It's probably going to be closer to 10 minutes. So this is going to be pretty short. I want to go through quickly. I want to go through um, the mechanics of shooting and the way I teach it. I want to highlight one really big point that Drive Lacrosse Academy, what's his name? I think Connor Drake, is it? Drive Lacrosse. He puts out great content. I saw him talk about it, so I want to highlight that as well because it's something I've taught for a while. And then we're gonna go. We're gonna talk about this really advanced little shooting mechanic that I want to work on. Okay, so what we are working on. Oh, sorry. So this is what we're looking at right now. We're gonna start with this one. Okay. This is what we're working with. This is a very standard box lacrosse shot that we're going to see. I want to get this shot as consistent as possible with you guys. So I want to lay out the framework for how we shoot. And then I want to talk about the difference your bottom hand can make with your shot and how you can play with that. So, first things first is we see this crossover step, right? This crossover step is so important for setting yourself up moving to the net, right? If we don't take this crossover step, we're going to be arcing out like this as we try to step down to the net. That's going to create inconsistency in our shot because we're going to get a different release every time based on this starting step, right? The ground is your first point of contact. Okay. Then what we're going to see is we're going to see this butt, right? We're going to see the butt end of the stick shift. And this is what I was talking about with Drive Lacrosse. He said, this button needs to be pointed directly at the cage. And I couldn't agree with that more. So many coaches talk about hiding your stick behind your hands, and that makes your stick twist. So the butt end is like pointing over here. And then you have to time up how your stick actually paints its target, right? So the way I teach is if this, as this stick is rotating through, okay, and coming over the top, you paint your target. So this edge of your stick here, the head of your stick, right? You're going to view this as a paintbrush, and it's going to paint everything on its path. And that's kind of how we can start to become consistent, both with sidearm and overhand, underhand shooting. You have to paint your target. So we need to focus on getting that butt end around so it's painted at the target before we start rotating with our hands. So watch my bottom hand. See how my hands are pointed across the floor, and then I shift and get them into position before I've started to open up my hips and rotate to the net, right? This is going to create more consistency in my shot, okay? So now the final thing I'm going to do, right, is as this weight shifts onto this lead leg, okay, then I'm going to release my hands. Now, here's where it gets advanced, okay? Homies, pay attention, right? Check out this bottom hand, okay? Check out what it's doing, okay? So if I decide to be really top hand dominant and I let this thing just kind of go and I snap it out, like I'm snapping it out pretty far here in front of me. You notice my bottom hand is not doing, it doesn't look like it's doing a lot from this position. What it's doing is stabilizing my stick and allowing my top hand to really rotate over. What I can play with is I can play with where this top hand go or this bottom hand pulls to, right? So imagine if I released more something like this and my hands are out wide and this stick is pulled flat back with it. Okay, that's going to create a whole different release. The ball's going to come out, the stick's going to be higher, number one. The ball's going to be up here more, coming down at the net harder. And because you're snapping your stick harder with your bottom hand, it's going to come out faster. That's going to be a quicker overall release, right? Or we could, if we were shooting from a little bit further out and we wanted to get more speed on our shot, we would torque up by getting this bottom hand more involved, okay, in the shot from the very beginning. So right here, we would really start to think about pulling this bottom hand out wide and then kind of down back to where our back pocket would be in jeans if we were wearing jeans. And then your top hand is going to snap over later at the net. It's going to keep the ball on your stick for longer, and that's going to help you produce more shot speed, right? So just as we think about these mechanics, right, of what we're doing with this bottom hand, we can really start to change how our shot looks. But in order to change how our shot looks, we need to have a consistent shot, right? So let's go ahead and let's look at that now. And I just want you to focus in on that bottom hand. Okay. So it's up, down, boom. Okay. Playing with that a little bit can really change your game. Okay. Now, second one. Okay. A little bit, just a little different. I just want to show you guys this. Look at the speed. Look at how quickly I'm getting this shot off, right? It's about 3 seconds. I'm starting my dodge at the 5-second mark. Okay. Starting my dodge, and the ball is out of my stick by before it hits the 8-second tick, right? So when we think about training and anytime we get some sort of a dodge out of this, the first thing we want to work on is reducing, okay, the time in between the movements. So dodge to shot as fast as humanly possible while running at a good pace. This is going to put a lot of pressure on you, okay, to perform the skill right. Now, we want to make sure we're doing this and it's fundamentally sound, okay, but that's going to help you drastically because you can always take an extra second. You can always add another crow hop. You can always pause for a second, right, and take a breath. You can't make that time up. So when you're training, don't be lazy when you're going out to the field and you're shooting, okay, and you're doing a dodge and you're taking like 3 to 4 steps. Hit that initial dodge, right? And then get the ball out of your stick as quick as you can. Okay? That's the difference. That's why field players don't end up having the same skills that Canadians end up having because they're playing this game. They're in a tighter space. They have to get these shots off faster. You want the secret to getting better hands? Get the ball out of your stick faster. Learn how to do that. Put that pressure on yourself. Look at that. I see my boy Zach in there, and I see Cuds jumped in here for a minute. Love it. Fired up to have you guys here. If you guys have any questions about this, throw it in the chat right now. Otherwise, we're gonna kind of jump off here because I got some other stuff I got to get into today. But excited to bring this one to you. If anyone's got any questions on this kind of advanced mechanics when we were looking at our shot. Cool. All right. I love that, man. And so I'll kind of just chat right now. You know, there's a little bit of a time delay, so I'm always like getting used to this. I do these live streams on TikTok right before this, and it's like going from TikTok, and then I go over here and I do Instagram and YouTube, and I'm adding in X as well. And so it's always a little bit, they're just a little, they run a little bit differently. TikTok has to go everything through TikTok. So it's kind of weird. Uh, but anyways, playing with all this stuff, it looks like nobody's got any real questions on this at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and jump off the stream, but really enjoyed this one. I hope you guys got a lot out of it. Talk to you guys soon.